I'm here with attorney Simret Zeru. Could you please introduce yourself to the folks out there?
Hello, hello, hello. They call me Simret across the nation. Tribulation. I'm kidding. My name is Simret Zeru.
Oh, man, I thought that was cool, man. I thought that was how you were going to talk.
I'm an attorney working in the DMV almost exclusively with the Abasha community.
Habesha community, what's that? Break it down, because people, look, remember, you're talking to viewers who may not know anything about the African community. So you said Habesha. What is that?
Today alone, 3 people have told me via Twitter that the term Abasha is offensive, and I don't know if that's true or not. I think it's a term that we've come to own, not unlike the N-word. Abasha, a friend of mine described it to me this way.
Oh,
and
so,
it's the
so
best.
I can't be saying it then.
Yeah, it's just
my bad.
Only for my niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But Abasha, the best definition I've heard was that it refers to Semitic language-speaking Highlanders from the central plateau of Eritrea and Ethiopia.
Central plateau of... Okay, so describe that. Just say we have an African map. Where are we talking about exactly?
We're talking about the African Horn. We are... how would I put this? We've been isolated for centuries. We all live on very high mountains.
Okay.
And actually, maybe that may not be fair to some of the lowlanders that are also included within Ethiopia and Eritrea. But for the most part, that's what Abasha refers to.
So I guess Habesha is a term that seems to include both Ethiopians and Eritreans.
Right.
So I guess that's why it seems like a sort of a useful term because, I run into a lot of folks that I guess just sort of by the way they look, and in this area, I assume they're Ethiopian, and if I bring that up, they're like, Ethiopian?
How dare you,
what?
sir? How dare you?
Right. So I feel like that encompasses both.
It does. I mean, I'm not saying that the lines aren't distinct, but from an ethnic standpoint, they're largely arbitrary. You want to know how you know you're dealing with an Abasha? You see an 8-year-old with a hairline that appears to be receding. That's an Abasha. Like you got a forehead that you could build a house on. That's an Abasha.
Okay. Is that all right? So, and then what about you said that it's the ethnic line is thin. So basically, there's no way you can physically spot or make that distinction between an Ethiopian and Eritrean.
No.
You cannot.
No.
Okay. And what about you? Are you Eritrean or are you Ethiopian?
I am Eritrean, but I'm what's known as Amiche. Well, not me, but I'm descended from Amiches. My parents were born and raised in Ethiopia.
Okay.
And but both of their parents were Eritrean.
I see. So what is there's tension, right, between the two? What's going on with that? Just give us a brief breakdown so we have an idea.
Tension may be a diplomatic word for it. There's been a 30-year war of independence.
Okay.
That ultimately resulted in the separation of the 2 states. But because of certain cultural, linguistic similarities, we've remained largely associated.
I see. So who's trying to get independence from who?
Eritrea was trying to gain independence for Ethiopia and sought that independence through a 30-year civil war that ended in 91 and ultimately resulted in the Eritrean state being founded in 1993.
Well, and I've noticed, if you look at you, you're not, how do I say this? You're not like a dark
There's a lot of milk in the coffee.
A lot of milk in the coffee, right?
Well, you could probably swim to Yemen from Eritrea, and most people think that that's where the introduction of Arab blood came from.
I see. Now, I read somewhere that in Africa you think black Africans, but I heard the #1 language, the most speaking language in Africa, is actually Arabic.
Yeah, I believe that.
That makes sense, right?
That makes perfect sense.
Now, why are...
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go for it.
Fun fact, the #3 language spoken in the DMV is Amharic, right behind Spanish.
Amharic, so that's the Ethiopian Eritrean language?
No, that's the Ethiopian language. It's the national language of Ethiopia. From what I understand, it was basically developed to have. It's a pigeon of sorts that they created to control various vassal territories.
And what do they speak in Eritrea?
Tigrinya.
Do most Ethiopians speak Tigrinya?
They do not.
And do Eritreans speak Amharic?
Prior to independence, Eritreans were required to learn Amharic. So most Eritreans over a certain age, I want to say 30 plus, would be fluent in Amharic.